the permutations as to what's going on. For Nepal to still win the series, they have to win today. But were Oman to win today, it basically sets up a winner-takes-all grand final tomorrow.
Yeah, it's all to play for still for all three of these sides. Nepal, they're going to need some help tomorrow in the game. And if they beat Oman here today, it's really going to come down to net run rate. They've put themselves in a decent position. But for Oman...
The funny thing is as well, Arslan, sorry to cut you off, is that if Nepal beat Oman today and Oman beat Canada tomorrow, that would be the replication of the results from the first set of the round robin. And it would also mean, I think Nepal would then be heavy favourites. Because from a net run rate perspective, we'll get just one more look at it here. You would think, unless there's some extraordinary results, like let's say you'd have to have a really close game today, and then you'd have to see Oman win quite well tomorrow against Canada. But you think if Nepal could win today, Oman could win tomorrow, it could well end up with Nepal being champions.
Yeah, and I think the important part from an Oman standpoint is it's in their hands. They don't have to rely on any results tomorrow. They just got to win. It's pretty simple for them. For Nepal, they're in a strong position if they win here today, but Oman's going to know what they're going to need tomorrow. That's the other part. You need to get them in 10 overs. You go get them in 10 overs.
I think we'll probably see the entire nation of Nepal becoming Omani fans for the day tomorrow if they can win today.
After this game today, buddy. You got to finish this game today.
Not today, but tomorrow. All of a sudden, they'll be changing those blue shirts into red ones.
You reckon the Nepal squad will be here tomorrow with their Omani shirts on? You said they're friends. They're all friends.
Yeah. One of the interesting things as well, I only found this out a couple of days ago. Nepal are actually going to stay on. So they're going to stay on, and God, it's going to be chilly, but they're going to play 3 50-over games against, you'll probably know better.
Against Canada A, the A squad.
But it's going to be kind of a select 11, isn't it? They're going to bring a few people in.
Yeah, so they've been playing a couple of games over this week. They played a game yesterday. The HP Jaguars versus, I believe, the HB Tigers or Wolves. It's a lot of cats and dogs up here in Canada for some odd reason. But they played a game yesterday. It's a little bit of a selection game, and they're going to play again, I believe, tomorrow. And then the series starts on Friday, Lenny. It's a 3-game series, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday. A day off in between all 3 games.
Oh, this has gone miles up. Not sure whether deep mid-wicket is going to be able to get there. He's not, and it plugs in the outfield. It's only going to be a couple, but the aggression continues. It's very clearly a ploy from Nepal in the power play. A little bit too full from Ahmed Fayez, but gets away with it. Only 2 runs to the total.
And just to finish the point there, Lenny, I think it's smart from Nepal as well. They're heading straight down to the States after this, aren't they? They've got a big series coming up there, World Cricket League 2 games. The T20s before the World Cricket League 2 this time around.
Yeah, 17th, 19th, 20th of October. That'll be at the Grand Prairie Stadium, that remarkable facility that Major League have... I only visited it for the first time this year, and I'd heard good reports from last year, but I hadn't managed to get there yet myself. As this is edged away for 4. There's a man out at deep third, but he's incredibly square, so this goes fine. Fayez Butt will feel as though he's unlucky, but it's 4 more to the total.
Yeah, Def Canal, he's been riding his luck, but Asif Sheikh on this occasion, top edge, back of a length, and just look.
But yeah, that Major League facility is quite something. Just to look at the dimensions, 60 metres out to that leg side. That's why they're targeting it. It's because we've come all the way to the left as you look now on the square, and much bigger out on the offside. Boundary in unfortunate fashion, and Sheikh just didn't learn his lesson, did he? And he is going to fall another.
Up in the air.
Just the tiniest bit of shape from Ahmed Fayez Butt that's had an impact on that dismissal. Asif Sheikh falls for 16 of 14 deliveries.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your taste.
Welcome back to all the action. Nepal losing their second wicket just before the end of that over. 44 for 2 after 5. Currently going on that 8-over mark. Or 8 runs and over mark, I should say. Matt, good morning. How are you? Or good afternoon. We had a delayed start today.
We did. It's sweater weather here on the cricket pitch. I see you got your parka on. Lenny has his toque on. He said he doesn't have any hair to keep his head warm, so he needs a toque.
I've seen him moisturize his head, actually.
With that dry fall air, I can imagine.
Well, Shakil Ahmed coming in for his third over. Kushal Malla walking out. That's going to be 5 wides. Poor delivery first stop from Shakil Ahmed. Well down leg. And they'll take these extra runs, Nepal. What do you think of the start so far?
Pretty good. You're trying to take advantage of these first 6 overs, the power play. Getting 4 freebies right there will help that cause. 5 freebies, excuse me. Still learning the rules, folks.
Yes. Because that was a wide, it went behind the batter. It's a wide that's gone for 4 runs. So it's 5 runs off that delivery, and he's got to re-bowl it.
This is like a double whammy, triple whammy.
Triple whammy. You don't want to be bowling those.
They have Press Your Luck in Canada, the game show that the double whammy phrase originates from. For everybody listening, everybody's heard the phrase double whammy. It's from a game show called Press Your Luck. That was popular, I think, in the 80s. I'm showing my age here with this.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm born in the 80s, so I don't. I'm going to add it to the list that I've got going on from everything I need to check out that Lenny's asked me to check out.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, big toss to win here for Oman. They won. They said they're going to have a bowl first. We did start an hour later, which means the conditions have had a little bit of time to settle down.
Yeah, especially with the sun out, drying things out.
But those of you watching, do not be deceived by the sun. It is nowhere as warm as it looks on your screen. It's actually sitting about 16 degrees at the moment with a cool breeze.
Especially in the shade where we are.
Exactly. Typical fall weather now.
My favorite kind of weather.
Is that your favorite season? The fall?
Without a doubt. I love the foliage. I love the cool, crisp air. I run hot.
Well, there you have a shot of how beautiful it looks here. The sun's shining, light blue skies with a few white clouds.
It's 3 swings in a row with no contact.
Excellent over this. After the 5 wides, he pulls it back. Shakil Ahmed. It's going to be the end of the 6th over and the end of the power play. Nepal 50 for 2.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go!
Let's go! Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
Second last game of this No-Frills T20 Cup. And it's an important one. Nepal have to win today to stay in the contest. And then wait to see for the outcome from tomorrow's game. Oman, got to win today, got to win tomorrow to claim this No-Frills T20 Cup.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a more exciting finish to the series. This is what you want. Everybody's still in it going into the last 2 matches.
They're a bit of a shocker, didn't they, Nepal, yesterday? They really had the game in their hands, and then Saad Zafar came in towards the end and just completely snatched that win away from them. Some incredible batting from him. The rain as well coming in about 3 o'clock. It was an interesting period. Yeah,
I mean, the one thing I've learned watching and broadcasting my first cricket series ever is how unpredictable it is, how fast momentum changes. You think it's going to be a certain result, and then at the snap of the fingers, everything shifts.
Faya's butt to continue. We've seen a few decent looking shots from Nepal. Unfortunate to
takes a tremendous amount of focus. I was talked earlier in basketball, we say it's a 48-minute game. I mean, you go 2-3 minutes and you have a mental lapse. That's the difference between winning and losing. It's no different with this cricket series. Only 20 overs. You cannot afford any mental lapses.
Oh, using his feet down the track.
Woo, felt the breeze on that one. He went for it.
He got all of the breeze and none of the ball on that one.
Might have to borrow Lenny's toque with the wind chill factor.
As he gives it to you.
He knows what a toque is, at least.
Yeah, I did teach him that, yes. It was 2 years ago that lesson came out.
The first time you said toque, what did he think you were referring to?
Actually, sure. I think he was pretty confused. Lenny says he thought I meant bum. Well, it might run away to the boundary, and it does.
Nice.
Not where he intended that to go, but he'll pick up the boundary here.
I was going to say a lot of unintentional success by this Nepal batting team so far, and they'll take it. Every run counts.
Yeah, dealing with thick edges here, Nepal today. This one going just in front of the fielder at third man.
It's amazing to me just the physics of that shot, because it's almost like they make contact and it goes backwards, but it goes backwards faster than the pitch was coming in somehow.
Pick up a single here. Yeah, actually, it makes it quite tricky when you're fielding at the point position as well, because the ball's always going to turn away from you after it pitches. You have to be careful of that spin.
Yep.
And judge your approach to fielding the ball accordingly.
You got to pick the right angle. Their speed and angle, but instead of tackling a person, you're tracking the ball down. Team Nepal really coming out aggressive in those first 6 overs, swinging for the fences and being rewarded.
That's a good bouncer, that, from Faya's butt.
Yep.
Hitting the deck hard. Kushamala ducks out of the way.
Yeah, would have been in concussion protocol with that.
The end of the 7th over, Nepal 55 for 2.
Team Nepal really showing that shift in their mentality, coming out extra aggressive. In the past, known to play a little more conservative, especially in those first 6 overs in the power play, but really trying to coach these guys up mentally to come out and take advantage of that, be more aggressive, look for more boundaries, and definitely be rewarded for taking those risks today.
Well, it's a low full toss, and this might be a wicket. He's gotten a wicket.
And of course, as soon as I say that happens. That's how we call that the broadcast jinx, Manali.
We call it the commentator's curse in
That's
cricket.
Right.
And that's going to be third wicket for Nepal. Unfortunate way to have gotten out on that delivery, and so often we do see low full tosses result in wickets. You're not expecting it. This one not timed well.
Definitely not. Good positioning by the Oman fielder. I mean, that was hit with pace, but just right where the fielder was.
Well, you're talking about all of the tactical changes for Nepal. They've worked well for them in the T20 series, actually. It's been quite a change from the 50-over approach. And sometimes when it's not working, you do need to look at changing the batting lineup, just changing which batter is going to come in at what point. It's paying off for Nepal. It has in the first two games.
Yeah, you see solid contact. I mean, if you hit it anywhere else in the field, that's a boundary, but...
Shoaib Khan taking a good catch in the boundary.
Manali, you played a lot of cricket at national team level. Does it hurt your hands more when it's chilly like this?
Oh.
It seems like it would.
The worst to field in cold weather. Literally the worst. That's the skipper Akibilias, who comes in with the ball and picks up a wicket off his first delivery. Not the best of deliveries.
What's the coldest? What's the coldest they play cricket in? At what point are they like, nope, too cold?
I don't think we've really had a set temperature as
Below
to when
zero?
it's too cold. You know what? I have seen some games being played in... Well, I've heard of some games being played out in Alberta where the weather
Is it an advantage for a team who's used to the cold weather?
I don't think your fingers are meant to function.
But I mean, like for example, swing and a miss. For an example, we were at Raptors Media Day 2 days ago, interviewing Jacoby Walter, the Raptors first round draft pick rookie, and I was like, "Are you ready for the Canadian winter?" And he's like, "I've only seen snow 3 times in my life." So that would be a no. So I wonder, like, you know, you got a team from
Oman's
the
a pretty good
Caribbean,
example.
Oman, yeah.
Down the ground, and one bounce to the fielder.
I got Irish blood, red hair, fair skin. Grew up in New England. You made me play cricket in South Texas, in San Antonio, or in Florida. I wouldn't last 5 overs.
It is an adjustment. I mean, I can tell you, if our players from here have got to go play in Dubai or anywhere warm, it's an adjustment. Your lungs don't react the same way, and it's the same way when you come to the cold. I mean, if you're not used to it and you're not warmed up properly, we're going to get back to that thought, because 8 overs gone. Nepal are 58 for 3.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
Back to the action, and an interesting conversation here with Matt about how we cope with cold weather and vice versa. I mean, the coldest I've ever played was about 3 years ago, my last game. Stiff. Your fingers do not want to feel the ball whatsoever. You're actually hoping the ball doesn't come to you.
Yeah, I mean, you're standing out there for a period of time, and all of a sudden you got to sprint. It's a pulled muscle waiting to happen. Another factor I'm curious about is altitude. In the NBA, we play in Denver, Colorado, which is a mile high city, they call it. In that first rotation, your lungs are just burning.
It's actually a question that I asked Rohit Podal, the skipper of Nepal, at one of the post matches. I'm like, do you think you have an advantage to the altitude because you're so much higher?
Yeah, I mean, the average altitude of Kathmandu is 1,370 meters.
He did agree that, yes, there's definitely an advantage there.
There is, but also this isn't like a anaerobic sport, I would say. Maybe if you're up to
and doubles as often as you can, it very much tests your lungs.
Yep.
In fact, if you're not fit enough, you just start to notice that head starts to fall over a bit in your stance because you're still trying to catch your breath before the next ball. Never a good feeling.
No, and it affects your batting. It's like in basketball. If you're tired, it affects your shooting.
Zishan Maksud.
Either.
Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of extra fielders, it's good to see the tactic change from Nepal. Try and use those 6 overs to advantage. There are only 2 fielders allowed in the deep for the first 6 overs, and it's worked well for them.
That's where you can make some hay.
Into the leg side. And that ball took quite some time to get to the fielder in the deep. I believe that's Kasha Prajapati in the deep. In the end, they only get 1 run off that delivery. 9 overs.
TD, ready for you.
Okay, Bill, yes, is going to continue with his second over.
Finish strong. Those middle overs, the doldrums of
difficult. It's a difficult time. Just makes it a little bit trickier for the batters, and there's quite a bit of spin to come still from Oman. Good looking shot this,
There
going
we go.
over the infield. And they'll get a couple of runs here.
five.
I gotta be honest, I love those 33 degree days. It was just nice and warm outside.
Not me. I'm good.
The Irish man peeking over,
Yeah.
looking at me like I'm crazy.
Me and Lenny are on the same page with that one.
Oh, come on, Matt. Not all that bad. You know what? We got to ask Oman what they think of the weather today.
Yeah, that would Be interesting.
Wonder how they're feeling.
Get their take.
I mean, they're in the sun, so it's
They're
not too bad.
And
But
they're like, it's freezing. It's like, this is nothing. Although some clouds rolling through might take away the sun. Keep it.
Staff have done really well, haven't they? We got quite a bit of rain here last night, and to only have the 1 hour delay, they were ready to go in pretty quick fashion. Pitches look good as well, well covered.
Had the sawdust out. Ooh.
Sharp single.
Nepal just chipping away. Ones and twos.
And they do have time as well. We're still one delivery shy of that halfway point. They're sitting about 66. If they can try and get to about 140, they've definitely got a contest on their hands.
Yeah, for sure. Especially given the historical data performance this series, that seems to be about the mark.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. Azad! TD, ready for you.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks. The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
TD, ready for you.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the
Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go!
Let's go! Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
Welcome back to the action as we take a quick look at Nepal with the bat so far. Decent start. Could have been better from Nepal today. Both Anil Shah and Asif Sheikh unable to kick on today like they have in the past. And then that big wicket of Dave Kanal. All in all, they're sitting at a decent point at the halfway mark here with 67 runs on the board.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been too disappointed to start, but if we look at the bowling card here, it's been great. And Akib Ilyas, he just keeps coming in and taking wickets, doesn't even all 2 overs, 1 for 9. We saw Zishan Maqsood first over. Keep an eye on this. They haven't let them get away. Nepal have tried to get away from them. You saw the change in mindset in this No Frills T20 Cup at the top of the order. They've tried to get away, but Oman, they've kept them in check so far, Manali.
Yeah, just pegging away at wickets, regular intervals, not allowed for batters to settle down. And then the spin causing a little bit of havoc out there for Nepal. They've just really slowed down the run rate here.
And That's something Lenny and I talked about earlier. It's surprising that that's been the struggling point for them. Some of the best cricketers have struggled here at King City, Manali, so it's not odd to see players struggle, especially against the spin on these wickets. But Nepal, if it's so proficient against spin, it's what's helped them rise to the top. To see them struggling against quality spin nonetheless, but it is a bit of a surprise.
Well, that's why you go to King City, to get yourself tested.
Yeah, certainly.
Not easy conditions to bat here whatsoever. Whether it's a local league or whether it's international cricket, there's definitely something in there for the bowlers on these pitches. As that's worked into the leg side. And this is better running than we've seen. They were a bit slow in between the wickets the last couple of overs, and this is more like it from Nepal, testing the fielders and picking up 2
strike, turn the ones into twos.
It's been tough to find boundaries, hasn't it? The last 3 or 4 overs, just really drying out the boundaries. The pace isn't on the ball. The spinners are getting some turn out there.
Yeah, they've targeted that short side, the leg side here to the right-hander early on in the innings.
Again, looking to pull that, but just not getting a lot of reward for it. They'll pick up a single. It's going to be the end of the 11th over. Nepal 71 for 3. Cool autumn day. The sun's shining and it looks beautiful, but quite nippy.
I don't know what's going on here, Manali. We've got you saying autumn as Canada on top of the points table right now with their 2 wins out of 3. Nepal 1, 2, and Nepal, they win here. They go to favorites to win this whole thing. But Manali, we've got you saying autumn and we've got Lenny saying fall. What's going on here?
We've spent too much time together. That's the issue. Almost 3 weeks with Lenny here. I can tell you've been tested every way possible.
The other question I've got to ask you is, we've all got nicknames here. Lenny and I, people would like to shorten our names. We've got the Red Rocket, the Lumbu Dai, the Red Mama behind us.
He's got a few.
We've yet to find a nickname for you.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. If you got one in mind. Well, this is a good-looking stroke down the ground. 6 runs picked up by Kushal Malla. First sign of aggression and a boundary after a long time with dots and singles. Much needed for Nepal.
Favorite shot for Kushal Malla. This time getting over the top of Rafiullah there. We see him warming up now. Looking to come into the attack, but Akib Ilyas just floats one up, and Kushal Malla, he's not going to miss out. Work this over back now. He's making sure that he doesn't let this over get away from him.
They're doing well working the gaps here. Nepal definitely wouldn't have taken a single on that. It's a good call.
Yeah, Pratik Attavali, he moved well there, but not well enough to save the single. The man was out. Just having a look. It looks like Khalid Kale. He was out on the boundary to the right-hander. He's in the ring now to the left-hander. It's just not easy
to be a decent over for Nepal.
And that 6 really changes things. It changes the over, doesn't it, Manali? If it was just the 4 or 5 singles, it would have been a brilliant over. Instead, once you get that boundary in, the 6, it definitely changes things. Just talking about Akabilias, what a skillful cricketer he is. He's bowling leg spin to Rohit Paudel. You'll get a single, but you'll notice Kushal Malla is predominantly bowling off spin, so great variety from Akabilias.
Great variety, and a decent over for Nepal comes to an end. 12 overs gone. Nepal 83 for 3.
We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
Well, crucial part of the game now. 8 over contest to go, and you feel that they might want to try and pull it close to that 16th over mark before they try and get aggressive. A lot of batting to come still for Nepal. Zishan Maksud comes into the attack, coming in for his 3rd over. Still got Dipender Singh Airy, likes of Gulshan Jha, who's been quite phenomenal, hasn't he, Gulshan Jha? It's going to be a wide.
Yeah, he didn't play that first game against Canada, if you remember. And he came in for that second game against Oman and said, basically telling Monty Desai, don't leave me out of the team.
Well, the reverse comes out. Not timed, but they'll pick up a single.
Just one of the challenges with this Nepali batting order, Manali, is you see the likes of Kushal Bertel started his career opening the batting, has been pushed down the order now to do a different role. We'll likely see him coming in next. But then you also have the likes of Dipender Singh Airi, who's there down at 8.
This is pulled away.
Yeah, Kushal Malla just moving around his crease there. Looking to throw Zishan Maksud off.
Singles coming quite easily for Nepal here. They're slowly ticking away at the runs, and I think Oman are going to have to be a little careful here because they're still going about 6-7 runs and over in singles, and then the
They look well set here for another big total, but what's been impressive is their ability to get runs off every ball. They're looking to rotate the strike, and it allows them to turn a good over into a big over when they do get that ball that they can put away. Kushal Malla, he's hitting to the bigger side, his leg side, his favorite side, as you see him having a look there. It's a longer boundary, about 65, 67 meters out there. So it's a decent hit.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever.
7 overs to come as Nepal sit at 91 for 3. Think we're going to see a change in the batting order, RC?
Not sure about the batting order, but we're having a change in the bowling. Right now, Rafiola is going to come into the attack, Manali. He hasn't had the best series with the ball, has he? The No Frills T20 Cup. He wasn't in the ODI squad. He's come in for this T20 Cup. Had a great cameo with a bat, but with the ball, although he's been quick, something that Oman have needed, but he just hasn't been consistent with his lines, has he? A number of wides. He's really had a couple of big overs. Yeah, I would love to see, and again, it's hard. There's so much batting still left for Nepal. You've got Gulshan Jha, Kushal Bertel, and Deepinder Singh Airi. Sompal Kami there as well. Sandeep Lamichhane is out there, and he considers himself a batsman if you ask him. We talked about Deepinder Singh Airi, number 2 in ratings. Sandeep Lamichhane wants to be there as well. You see a false start from Rafiullah.
Listen, Sandeep Lamichhane was one run away from pulling up his first ever half century in the ODIs. He batted phenomenally well that day, but honestly, good aggressive bat when he comes out to the middle.
I'll tell you this, Manali, I am never gonna go against the Nepali batting. Karan Casey and Sandeep Lamichhane, the amount of runs that they've scored against Canada over the years.
It's easy pickings a little bit for Nepal. They stick to just the single, but plenty of gaps on offer for the singles and doubles.
There was a story I saw on Instagram the other day where it was a picture just reminding us of Karan Casey consoling Cecil Pervez after that final over where they beat us all the way back. I believe it was 2016 in a World Cup qualifier. So yeah, never gonna say anything against the batting of Sandeep Lamichhane or Karan Casey for that matter.
Into the offside, towed that a little bit.
He loves batting against spin, Kushal Malla. He loves hitting him over the leg side. The slog sweep, a favorite shot of his. So with Rafiullah bringing out the X Factor. Again, the X Factor hasn't worked with the ball yet, but he has a little bit something to him. He's a strong man.
Well, he's used his feet this time, going down the track.
Off the bat, I think he thought it was hit harder than it actually was. He kind of just stayed still and waited for the ball to come to him when Rohit Patil didn't really hit it at all. I think he could have taken a few steps up and thrown on the run. It would have been a chance. Direct hit, you never know.
It was a bit wet on that side of the ground as well, wasn't it, this morning? Quite wet. There's a lot of sawdust put down, a lot of sand, just to get us to be able to get this game in. Well, that's a big wide. Losing his line by some distance here, Rafiullah.
And there's just no rhythm to his bowling at all. It's been interesting to see. He does have a few yards of pace there. Definitely the quickest on. He's bending his back, but just doesn't look comfortable at that delivery stride whatsoever. And the other thing, a slightly slingy action from Rafiullah. So if he doesn't get it right, he's going to go down the offside to the left-hander and down the leg side for the right-hander.
That's a well-bowled delivery. A Yorker outside the off stump. He picks up a dot ball here, Rafiullah. 4 runs coming off this over. He'll want to finish strong. Oftentimes we've seen that last delivery go for a boundary, and in this occasion it's an extra delivery because of that wide.
You can just tell the plan from Rafiullah here to Kushal Malla, just wants to stay away from his hitting arc. And as we have a look now, Fayaz Butt, he's being brought in from third man. I don't know about this if he's going to consist with the wide Yorkers. Just looking to see where the man went out. It looks like Kalimullah was pushed back at long off, and Fayaz Butt brought in. Manali, if he's going to bowl a wide Yorker here, there's every chance this goes right past Faya's butt for 4 runs.
But he's gone for it. And it's a bit of a change in pace as well. It's gone through the keeper. And it didn't go away to the boundary.
It wasn't
It has been given a 4. In fact, that's been
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
Well, we had said he wanted to finish strong, Rafaela, and in the end, it was 4 byes. Doesn't go against him as a bowler, but it's 4 runs nonetheless added to the Nepal total. They're now 1 run away from bringing up that 100.
We're going to see Zishan Maksud out of the attack. It's going to be Shakil Ahmed. Some more left arm spin to Rohit Padel. It's been somebody, Rohit, the captain of Nepal.
Oh, this might be a wicket here. It's gone high up in the air, and he's put it down. Oh my dear goodness. This has gone down, and it should have been a regulation catch. It is no one else but the skipper, Akib Ilyas.
Yeah, no one else to blame, does he? We talked about the captain of Nepal being in decent form, but Akib Ilyas, he's given him a gift here. An early birthday present for Rohit Padel. He's an opportunity to kick on from here, but Akib Ilyas, you can't look around. Nobody else to blame.
Well, this one goes straight down the ground and straight into the hands of the fielder. Not a very costly.
He picks up a big wicket there of Kushal Malla, who eats left arm spin for breakfast, lunch, and dinner when it's his day. Today wasn't it, though. He straight to Ayan Khan, who takes a good catch. Akib Ilyas, not sure what he was doing, but Ayan Khan, he was well up for it. Takes a decent catch running here on the boundary. Kushal Malla will be disappointed with that, Manali.
He's gone for 19 off 26 deliveries. Not quite the
to the middle there in Gulshan Jah. You saw the ovation that he got. They weren't too happy that Kushal Malla got out, but they were in an uproar as Gulshan Jah walked out to the middle.
Well, even on a cold weekday such as this, we've got Nepal fans in the stands here to support their side. Diehard fans, very passionate about their cricket. Come out and they support their cricketers in good fashion. It's always lovely to see how the Nepal team go around and just, say thank you, round of applause to their fans. It's nice to see them appreciate the effort that the fans are putting in to come out to King City and to support them.
I'll tell you, Manali, you're talking about the players appreciative. We've got 2 Dais right behind us in Lambu and Taklu Dai who are appreciative of the Nepali fans as well. They were going around there yesterday. I think they were asking for Lambu Dai. Taklu Dai has been out there quite a number of times. He's been a star for Oman on this tour. A couple of times he's picked up the wicket off the first ball. Canada, Aaron Johnson shied away from taking striking in the game against Oman because he didn't want to face up to Shakil Ahmed.
Well, as this log swept, and it's got the distance. It's going to go for 6 runs. Good looking shot this from the skipper, Rohit Podal.
And Rohit Podal got all of it. Didn't get much air, but flat 6 down to the Nepali fans as you see the flags waving in the stands.
Well, he's getting in for the reverse. He's out. Balls missed. Half a shout. So much happening in that one delivery. It's going to be the end of the 15 overs. Nepal 107 for 4.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. How's that? TD, ready for you.
What do you think, Lenny? Dynamic duo potential right here?
Yeah, 5 overs remaining.
Batman and Robin?
You sense again, mate. It's game on here, don't you?
I do.
It's hanging in the balance. Gulshan Jazz been outstanding all tour. Rohit Podal, the skipper, finding a bit of form. 25 off 26, that maximum he definitely needed. And if you're going to attack someone, I think it should be Rafaela. I know he can bowl quickly, but often it is the pace on the ball that will end up going the distance. Gulshan Jazz, he'll be positive. What can him and Podal do in this last quarter of the first innings? And he's going to start with a wide. Outside off stump. Great to have you back with us, Matt Bonner, in commentary. Andrew Leonard here alongside you. As Arsalan said, the Lambu Dai and the Taklu Dai. Plenty of the fans, I was just up there asking for you up there. They're saying, where is Lambu Dai? But a quick story about these. Drive away. They left at 6 a.m. yesterday, and they arrived into a soaking wet Toronto at 9 p.m. last night, desperately worried about whether or not they would get play today. Have you ever seen such dedication from a group of fans?
I don't think I have. That is dedication. You know, we get signs in the NBA sometimes, like, I traveled all the way from China. It's my birthday. Can I get a picture with Tim Duncan? Never me, unfortunately. But you know what? I might have to make a pit stop over there on my way to the Momo truck and say hello and thank them for their dedication to the sport and the team.
I think that could make their day, Matt. I'm not going to lie. But incredible shout out for those 4. That's Upendra.
You ever been to Louisville?
No, but obviously I know it's the home of the Kentucky Derby. Is that right?
It is, as well as the University of Louisville, where my sister was an assistant basketball coach, I think for 5 years. They have a very good women's basketball team and men's basketball team. They take their college sports serious there, that's for sure, and their horse racing.
I'm not going to lie, I've had to go to the map to work out exactly where it is, as this is pulled. Oh,
there
yes.
We go.
An outstanding stroke. Who else would it be but the skipper? He's got the
And we've seen this Nepal team get hot coming down the stretch of their batting order, trying to get something going. Manali talked about trying to hit that 140 mark. We'll see if they can do it.
I think from this position, 140 would be really disappointing, Matt. They're thinking about 160.
That's
right
what
now.
I'm talking about.
And 160, I think that could be really tough to chase for Oman. Great credit to the ground staff, though. This pitch is playing pretty well, and there's a bit of pace in it, too. Looks for the ramp, the scoop. You got to question those two shots, don't you, from Powell? So in the last over, he slog swept to the short side, got 6. Then he's tried to innovate and reverse it. Last ball, he hooked it away for 6, and now he's tried to scoop for 4 or 6. Sometimes maybe just better keeping it a bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's just trying to keep the fielders off balance. But I'm a big fan of, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it, for sure. You got something that's working, keep going to it. Until the other team make the other player, the other team make an adjustment. And then you can adjust.
Oh, now that's a lovely length.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a little shorter, not short enough probably to pull, and he's looked to guide it away down to deep third, got nothing on it. Yeah, Nepal, they've shown so much, haven't they, throughout this series, and they're probably going to be wondering how they've lost 2 games.
Yeah, they've been in a position to win every match. We talked about, like, going through a lull, a lapse, usually in the middle overs, it seems like, with this Nepal team, but overall it's been really fun becoming a fan of this team due to their fans embracing me with the Lambu Dai nickname.
It's the last time we're going to have you with us, and to be honest, Nepal aren't playing tomorrow, so what does it matter? For you.
That's true.
I'm only joking, but it has been amazing. The outpouring of love, an immediate outpouring of love towards you. It really shows just how proud they are of their culture. And I saw you this morning. You were doing a lot of research about the country and working out if you can come and visit someday.
Absolutely. I love the mountains. Where I'm from in New Hampshire, we have the White Mountains. A fraction of the size of the Himalayas. But you were showing me some of the sights and describing what it's like visiting Kathmandu. Sounds awesome. I would love.
So basically what that would mean, that if by the end of the 18th or the end of the 19th over, Oman have not bowled their overs in time, they will be forced to bring an extra fielder into the circle, opening up a gap in the deep and making it easier to score boundaries. As this one's pulled away out towards Dufferin Street. See ya, says Matt Bonner, because that's all the way for 6 more.
Another 6. Heating up, dynamic duo. Nepal pushing for that 160 mark. They keep this up, they're going to get it. You hear the horns in the crowd.
You were talking to me the other day about meeting this young man, Rob Powell. I introduced you. You were very taken by just how composed he is for someone still in his early 20s, captain of a cricket crazed nation.
Absolutely. He has a calm confidence out there. High pressure moments, and he just seizes the moment. Seems to like those ones kind of coming right at him where he can turn and pull it left. So if the bowler has too many false starts and it's taking too long, you mentioned there's that penalty where they will pull someone in at the end.
It's the overall time of the inning, so it's not for the 1 over. If this 1 over takes 8 minutes, it doesn't matter as long as they're quick enough.
Gotcha.
$15 and possibly an hour and 20 minutes, they have to commence the 20th and final over by. And as long as they do that, they're okay. If they don't, then the umpires can adjudicate on that penalty. End of the 16th. It's nearly the perfect score, but not quite. I'll tell you why, Matt. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.
Needed the 5.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch.
together. Rafiullah's been expensive, isn't he, with the pace on the ball. And with Kali Mullah having 2 left and Ahmed Fayez Butt also having 2 left, you'd suspect that maybe it'll be those 2 that will close things out.
I would suspect so, Lenny.
So 123 for 4 overs left to work with for Jan Powdell. Ja swings and misses. We saw 140 be almost exactly par yesterday, didn't we? That was kind of, you could tell it went all the way to the just 3 balls left in the innings. If Nepal were to get 160, you'd really fancy them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you do talk about how much the conditions on the field and the air yesterday being very humid, heavy air, very wet field, cloudy, so didn't really have a chance to dry out. Makes things a little more difficult. Today, much more ideal conditions, despite the cooler weather, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely chillier, but when the sun was out, it was almost a little bit pleasant over with those Nepal fans. A bit different now, it's clouded over again.
Yep, my last rotation, I mentioned those clouds coming in. And
now, this could be a chance at mid-on, and for the first time in this entire tour of Canada, Gulshan Jah has fallen for a single-figure score. He's been simply exceptional, the young man, with his all-round skills throughout, but he's been bounced out by an aggressive delivery from Fayez, but Rafiullah takes the catch, and it's a big, big wicket.
It sure is. Kills the momentum for Nepal. They kind of had things going there. Just didn't get quite full contact on that. Full swing, full power. Take a look at this replay. You saw it kick when it hit the ground.
He just
get the full extension.
Just got cramped for room.
Jammed him up.
Gulshan Jah's gone for 2. The score 1, 2, 3 for 5.
As a business owner, you have
So just checking a few things there whilst we're on the ad break, Matt. It's not an hour and 20, it's an hour and 25 minutes that they have as the allowance to bowl their 20 overs in. Now, it's actually not bowl the full 20, it's start the 20th over. That's what you've got to do. As we see, Dipender Singh Ari to the crease. He's straight into his work with his fast hands.
Watch out, Seagulls.
By our calculations, Matt, we are at the end of this over, we're going to be an hour and 25 minutes into the innings. Now,
that's the limit.
It is the limit, but what the umpires build in, it's actually the reserve umpire that often keep track of this on the radio with the umpires. They'll build in allowances. Now, those allowances will almost always be for lost balls or for injuries to batters. I don't remember any injuries to batters or fielders really in this innings. We might have had 1 lost ball, so they might bake in 2 or 3 minutes. But with still 2.3 overs to bowl to get to the 19th over, the 20th over, the end of 19.
How strict are they, though? You go hour 26?
It depends on the allowances. So, they'll probably have given a minute for...
right, but even with the allowances, is like that's the absolute deadline?
And then, if you haven't started the 19th over, that's when the 20th over, that's when the over rate penalty will kick in. If you haven't started the 19th, Oman, I think, could be in here for 2 overs of over rate penalty. We're going to keep an eye on the field. At the moment, there are 4 inside the circle, which is the usual way at this stage. But keep an eye on those umpires in between each over. If they go over Taki Bilias and say, look, you've been too slow, you've got to get an extra man into the circle, it'll free some space up for Nepal to play with. Good Yorker from Fayez, but difficult to dig that out for Rohit Powdell.
This has been a non-issue this entire series. How rare is this occurrence?
It's occurring more and more often in the modern game because both the ICC is the global administrators and the MCC as the guardian of the laws. They're trying to speed up play. They actually brought in, it's not a full innings timer, but what they brought in the most recent World Cup down in the USA and the Caribbean was a 60-second timer between overs. And if you didn't bowl that first ball of the next over within 60 seconds, you got 2 warnings, and the third time it was a 5-run penalty. It actually happened in one game as well, and it was critical because USA were playing India in New York. As Powdell loses all his shape, works it into the leg side, won't get the second. come back and finish that story at the end of this over. It's 17 bowled, 1-2-5 for 5.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, school program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
So, Matt, I was just telling you about that story of the Group A game in New York between India and USA. Massive crowd in, amazing occasion, and the pop-up stadium, 35,000 seat temporary venue they built out in Long Island. It was quite remarkable. Took seats from the Formula One, and they didn't bowl their overs in time, and they were given first warning, second warning. Mayank Patel was out with a shoulder injury. USA had just beaten Pakistan. Aaron Jones was the stand-in captain, and the 5-run penalty swung all the momentum and took the game away from them. That's not in play here. That was just for the World Cup when they had the timers going, but it shows how big a deal it can be.
How aware are the players of these timers? Because I don't see a clock anywhere.
Won't be in play in this game. It's not in all T20 eyes. It's in major televised T20 eyes.
Yeah, I understand, but like in that situation with
big
the Americans,
screen.
So they know.
Big screen,
it's
counts it down.
They're trying to
starts at 60, goes all the way.
So they're starting to speed up towards the end to try to.
It's in between every over.
Yeah.
Every over, you've got to be quick. Edged away, going to be 4.
There we go.
Bit of fortune. Cali Mullah back into the attack. Powdle gets another boundary, gets good reward for more aggression.
Kicking things off with a 4. Take another look. I'm so impressed. She just nicks it. This velocity, it comes off that bat going backwards. Just doesn't seem like the physics should work out like that, but it does.
I heard you talk about that earlier.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little bit more on that. It's something, particularly if you're a slip or a gully fielder, you're acutely aware of the guys who stand in. There's none of them in there now because we're right at the death of the innings. But the more velocity the batter tries to put on it, it'll often fly off that edge. Here, I thought it was the bail flying. Now hold on.
It looked like you got a piece of the ball. What happens if you get a piece of the ball and the ball still hits it?
Now, it was a free hit. We've missed that entirely. My fault. It was bowled. It wasn't the bat flying off. But because it's a free hit, he can't be out. So he's actually played it onto his stumps. Sorry, Matt, I was too busy telling you the 5-run penalty story. It is the leg stump that's been hit. Still run a single.
That was good hustle there.
Full straight gone. Depender Singh Ari trapped LBW. Cali Mullah gets the Yorker in. A dramatic over. It's all happening here. No balls, wickets off, no ball free hits, and now the wicket. The number 2 ranked all-rounder in the world. He's dismissed.
Action-packed over right here. You mentioned it. Take a look at this ball right here. Right in at the ankles. Deep bounce. That would be a wicket.
And that's going to cannon into middle, maybe middle and leg stump a little bit. The late, possibly even reverse swing from Cali Mullah. It tailed in late. Well, this is quite remarkable. Kushal Bertel, in his first 45 T20 internationals, he opened the batting in every single one of them. He's hidden away all the way down at number 8 now. So he'll just have a role to try and get some singles for Rohit Paudel. In fact, he'll get more than that. He'll get 4. It's another edge. Nepal have had a few of them, haven't they? But the more the pace is on the ball, the more it's flying to the boundary.
That's right. Not a lot of time for those fielders to react. Threads the needle in that gap. Nice angle. This almost just guides it to the boundary.
think that's not a bad shout. He might have just opened the face of the bat quite late. It kind of felt like an edge at first. Let's get a second look. But what you might see here, he'll just guide it. It is a bit of an outside edge, but he is trying to guide it. Gets a little bit lucky, and he gets an immediate boundary. Behind square enough to get 4 means Powell will get back onto strike. How impressed have you been by him today, Matt?
Yeah, super consistent. Really keeping the focus, because that's what we talked about. These lapses, but he has not had one. He's been locked in. Mental toughness, especially at this point in the series too. Four matches in 5 days, that's not easy under any format.
Banged into the surface again. Powell can't judge the bounce. It doesn't look a bad wicket, but it doesn't look an easy one either, this pitch. There's those Nepal fans. They always bring such colour and enthusiasm and passion. I'll actually show you a little clip here.
Pretty big crowd.
There was a game last year on March 16th. They usually sell out the TU International Cricket Ground, but this particular game was to get them to the Cricket World Cup qualifier, and 6 weeks prior they'd been right on the edge of losing ODI status. Oman taking a long time again to bowl their overs. I really think we're going to see a fielding penalty. Oh, that is quite brilliant. What a way to go to 50. That, for me, is the shot of this No Frills T20 Cup. It's the reverse scoop over your shoulder. Unbelievable, Matt Bonner.
That's the first one I've seen. That was the first one I've seen ever. Granted, this is my first series, but yeah, I mean, how hard is that to hit it backwards over your shoulder for 6?
Well, Kalimullah is north of 80 miles an hour, in and around 130 kilometres an hour. Take another look at this. Look at the way he opens his body up, judges the bounce, and it's just a flick of the wrists. That is quite sensational.
So you're using the velocity from the bowler to get.
Giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. It's a no-frills thing to do.
Going to be 6 more. Kushal Bertel getting in the act now. Straight is the place to hit there, and a few of our staff just about avoiding that. Not far from our commentary tent either. Bertel all the way down at number 8, showing he has power too.
Nepal heating up. We talk about hitting is contagious.
Asking about those crowds that they get in Kathmandu. I'm just showing you a shot of that day on March 16th last year. I reckon there was 20,000 in the ground. Wow. And at least another 10,000 outside the ground. As Bertel ramps it round the corner, he's going to be caught by Shakil Ahmed, who's looking straight into the sun, so he does well to hold on to that. You've got to respect Nepal. They just keep going for it here, don't they? But Butt has picked up a 3rd wicket to his name.
The gully?
It's the leg gully, yeah, or kind of you call it a short, fine leg fielder. It's a defensive position. So Bertel falls for a very quickly made 11, including that big 6. It's 148 for 7.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go!
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
I think these last two overs epitomize T20 format, Lenny. Just going for it, taking risks, action-packed.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. And secondly, I actually want to give Nepal a bit of credit for something that they've corrected. I thought yesterday they didn't use their resources correctly. So if you think about it, after 9 overs, they were 70 for none. You have 10 wickets to work with, you got 11 batters in total. And they ended up scrapping up to 139. They did lose those 4 wickets in that kind of tough period, but they weren't really playing aggressive strokes, were they? It wasn't like they were living by the sword. They were just kind of nudging it around. They weren't going anywhere.
That's right. It was very mundane, just picking up ones. Not nearly as much action as we're seeing today.
There was a lack of intent, whereas today has been the opposite. So again, Rohit Paudel in bringing up that 50 in what today is his 56th T20I. His numbers are even better than you'd think. Just a lot of the performances he's put in have been in not full internationals. Player of the series in that West Indies A tour last year. It's a 7th career T20I 50. And as so often for Nepal, when Rohit Paudel goes well, his team go well.
Yeah, he's a leader with the bat. And also kind of what you said with regards to the shift. I think that's a sign of good leadership. Being able to recognize that. We talk about making adjustments within a series. So important. Trying, if you want to bring home that cup, you know, to be able to look at yourself critically and say, what could we have done better? And then actually implement that. Communicate it effectively, implement it, get everybody to buy in. So important.
Yeah, just remarkable. I think he's just 22 years of age. Incredible the way in which he's taken that responsibility onto his shoulders, the way in which he's managed some difficult times, some really tricky stuff. Good fast hands. They're going to take the fielder on, and Kozaki Bilias has fumbled it. End up with a single.
New Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
So 1 over remains. Kalimullah is going to bowl it, and Sampal Kami and Rohit Paudel will try to drive Nepal up to that 160. They might even fancy north of that. It is funny to think of how many good patches they have had through this No Frills T20 Cup, and how they've lost 2 games.
Yeah, and I was talking with Manali on an earlier rotation. Just when you think you have a match figured out, guess what? You don't. Things change so rapidly. A couple big plays on defense. We saw those diving catches on the first day. Kind of changed things. A hot bat. Hit some boundaries. Just every ball matters that much more in this format.
Well, we've just got to keep an eye on something here. And the fielding rate penalty has been applied. 5 fielders are in the circle. Not for 2 overs, just for 1. I think they've been pretty lenient, Tony, apply it for 1 over. So there's a lot of space for Rohit Paudel now to target as he comes on to strike. It's forced an extra gap in the field. Just see if we can get a look at the field. So that's the first time we've seen that fielding rate penalty applied. So you can see there
time to really let it rip. It's like a quasi power play.
Oh, great skills from Callie Mullet. Gets the Yorker in, right into the block hole. Just a little bit of tactical misawareness, if you will, from Oman. You choose as the fielding captain as to where you want to bowl your first over from. So they've gone with the pavilion end, which means you have to bowl the 20th and final with the shorter boundary down the ground. But what he might be saying is, I've got the bigger boundary to the leg side, and he's got a bit lucky because there's two right-handers at the crease. If Gulshan Jar, Kusha Mala were still there, they'd have that short leg side to target. Oh, this is excellent bowling. It's so in to the end of this 20 overs, feeling as though they've kind of won the last 2 overs. They'll just get that little boost for when they go out to chase this total. I still think it's slightly above par, as Powell gets a bit more innovation and gets it away for 4. It's that reverse scoop shot. It's Owen Morgan-esque. The former England captain was one of the first pioneers of this. It's so difficult to open.
Take a look at this replay. See him turn it upside down. Just a little flick. And that's all it takes. 4 points. 4 runs.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Callie Muller's height and pace. Quite audacious from Powell. Tries to repeat the toes. They put the fielder in there for it. Just wonder, is he better trying to hit down the ground? Mid-on is up in the... Most would think, and look at the final over, 3 dot balls in it. That's a big momentum shift.
Yeah.
Be desperate for a boundary here. And look at this extraordinary fielding position. Never seen this before in a T20 International. He put one in specifically for the reverse scoop, so it means that mid-on is open. Powell has to surely look down the ground. It's where he tries to hit it, but the Yorker's jammed in. Cammy won't be able to get back for the second. Rohit Powell will be left undefeated on 56 not out. There's a bit of a grimace there. Been happy with this at the start, but given some of the fluency that they had throughout the innings, maybe they'd have liked 165, 170. Ultimately, they'll have to be satisfied with a really entertaining first innings of 157 for 7.
Especially with that time penalty advantage going into that last over. Oman's got to be feeling good about themselves. Through some good bowling, stymieing the Nepal offensive attack.